What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Want to give a shout out. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. It is growing quite nice here. Just hit 500 subs yesterday. So thank you very much. If you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and consider doing so and join us over here at checking out some charts. Today is the 30th of April. It is Saturday. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin, some sentiment, and then at CASPER. So thank you once again, and look forward to all of the current and new subscribers to come. Let's check out some sentiment here. We are on the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Each day we analyze emotions and sentiments from different sources and crunch them into one simple number. The Fear and Greed Index for Bitcoin and other large cryptocurrencies. So sitting right now in extreme fear. We have not seen these levels of fear in a long time in the markets. Looks like yesterday we were at 23, a week ago 24, and then last month we were sitting at the neutral position. Sitting in extreme fear right now, a lot of opportunity, I think, for the savvy, nimble trader, perhaps to catch a pretty good bounce here to come. At some point, we do believe a strong bounce will show up, and it can show up at any time. But if you're a contrarian, here is your time here for the market sentiment sitting at a 20. Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Let's go jump into some charts. Over here on TradingView, looking at a Bitcoin US dollar. This data is from Coinbase. So what's going on? Looks like today, not much going on. Up 93 bucks. Nothing too crazy. If we go to yesterday's candle, which is what we want to talk about, down 2.89%. Not the worst, but definitely not the greatest. We saw over here on the 26th of April, we were down much more. That was 5.75%, but yesterday definitely wasn't that great of a day for Bitcoin. So looks like Bitcoin basically right around this level, this 37,200 is a area of support. Will Bitcoin hold there? That is the big question. That'll have a lot of weight on the rest of the market. Does it break below that level? Right now, we found support there a couple times over in here in March, and then once again in this past week. So will a move like this take place? So if we go back up a bit, Bitcoin over in here in September, similar looking pattern. And then eventually it did break very, very strong to the downside, down 10%, 4,200 bucks that day. Traded down, and then ultimately has just been chopping around sideways. So if we move this support line down to what looks like some more support, some recent support areas, will a similar move take place where we drop from here, or do we get that strong reaction to the upside? Tough to say, real tough to say here. I think the most pain to the most amount of investors would be some kind of a large move to the downside, perhaps a shakeout, and then maybe moving higher. I think that is more likely to play out at this point in time than just see a strong reaction here. Hopefully I'm wrong and we just get that strong reaction to the upside and continue this bull run for a lot of these altcoins. But I do think that you'll probably see something more like this. Whether it lasts or not, time will tell. It would be nice to see a move like this come into play, though, where we get a massive move to the upside, find support, and then continue higher. We'll see. A couple times we found support here on Bitcoin, but we're at a critical time here, and if these markets continue lower, then we'll we'll see a big break of that line. We're pretty oversold here in the markets. Not so much in Bitcoin. Sentiment definitely is in the gutters. Some coins are definitely more oversold than others. XRP, CASPER, and I'm sure there are some others that I have not looked at. So sitting at an area here for Bitcoin could go either way. I think the odds would favor some more downside price action for Bitcoin, which will probably pull down the rest of the markets. But like I said, I hope I'm wrong and we get a move like this instead. So just keep your eye on Bitcoin. Let's take a look over at CASPER. What do we got going on over here? So got to go over a couple things here on the CASPER chart. We are on the, looks like CASPER Tether USD daily chart. So I have a couple things on my chart, a couple different lines. Let me try to get this to a little bit of a zoomed in area here. So basically this is a daily chart going back to, looks like this data is to May 11th, 2021. Pushing up on 1 year of data here on this daily CASPER chart. I have, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 lines on the chart. As you can see, I have a green line down here. And then above that, I have a white horizontal, another white horizontal, and then another white horizontal. What are those? So those are areas that I looked at on the chart as potential areas of support and now on the upside resistance. So starting it off, the first line on the chart is, it has been anyways, support. So this is a green horizontal line on the chart. It runs from back over in here in July of 21. And then once again, we found support in March at that level. That's right at that 5, 6, 7. If you look over on the right hand side, you can see 5, 6, 7 is where that support area is. I believe we're actually heading lower here for CASPER, and I think we could see some support at that 5, 6, 7 level. That also correlates with this bottom over here, which also correlates with this bottom over here. So that is a potential area of support for CASPER if we do continue lower. We could see another bounce here, a triple bottom bounce before moving higher. I think we're extremely oversold. Maybe we don't get down there. That would be fine with me. But if we do, I would be keeping my eye, and I will be keeping my eye on that 5, 6, 7 level. And you can see if I zoom in here, zoom in quite a bit. Today's candle, which is the 30th of April, look at the wide range we have. Down to, looks like 603 all the way up to 682 or so. We're in an area, an oversold area in CASPER that we could see a extremely strong bounce at any time. And we basically started to get that today and then faded once again. So when these markets get too oversold, you can get extremely, extremely strong counter moves. I mean, this day right here on the 18th of March was one of those days. So just keep your eye out. We could see a big, big move to the upside at any moment. And it looked like we started to get one, and then that got faded. Let me look at two things before we get back to the support and resistant lines. So check this out on, this is a 3-minute chart on CASPER. You can see that basically sideways, nonsense, probably robot trading, blah, blah, blah. And then a massive order came in right here and moved the price up huge. So keep that in the back of your mind. That could happen at any moment when these markets get too oversold. You'll get huge moves in the counter trend there. So keep your eye on that. If we head lower, 567 is a good area where price should find support. And let me jump back real quick to an area where I'm talking about when the markets get too oversold. Right here on the 6th of August in 21, you could see we had a massive day that day. 70% up on that day, and then the next day up another 70%. So in 2 days, 140% move in CASPER. So when you get oversold, when we get down into the areas we're trading at right now, which is 617, there is a lot of support, at least looking back on the chart, and at any moment in time, we could see massive moves to the upside. So just keep that in mind. We're at a zone right here today that at any moment in time, a big order, a big whale could come in and push this price back up. And that would be great for the CASPER bulls. Keep that in mind. History does say that when we're at these zones where we're at today, that is possible. And we started to see a little bit of a warning sign with that in today's massive wide candle range so far. And then on that 3-minute chart, that massive candle that came in, I'll show you once again because it's a beautiful thing to see right here. Look at this massive candle. So just keep that in mind. At any moment in time, this thing could pump extremely hard because it is, once again, getting very oversold. All right, so assuming we head lower, 567 is the green line on my chart. Look for some support to step in if we head that way. Moving to the upside, 7.99 is an area of which now is overhead resistance. It's right here on my chart. You can see that all of these candle wicks here wicked up above that level. So that is resistance. Once again, over here, resistance, resistance. It was support, but then it turned into resistance. But you could see over in here, it was strong support. Over in here, it was resistance. And then we got that 70% break right there, turning it into no more resistance. And then ultimately it turned into support. And so far, though, it is overhead resistance. That is at that 8 cent 799 on my chart. You can see the candle wicks through it right here. Let's see. Candle wick through it right here. A couple wicks over here. Another wick right here. So that is an area that looks like has some validity. And right now that validity is overhead resistance when the price does start to move higher. But like I said, you could see a move like this at any moment, blasting right through that resistance and maybe even higher. So moving on up here, we have another level at the 1122 area, which is also overhead resistance. You could see the price wicked off of that over here on the 2nd of April, trading up to that level, getting pushed away, and ultimately trading down. So that is another area of overhead resistance for CASPER. Right in here, this giant right shoulder consolidation pattern. We found support there quite a bit. It looks like from December all the way through January. So we had a month of bouncing on that level. And then ultimately, when the price can't make any headway and move away from that area, you'll usually see a break through it. And we sure got that as we headed lower. So that area, I believe, is still valid. And right now it's overhead resistance. And then over here, you can see, looks like November through August of 21, we bounced up and in and around that area as well before trying to trade higher and then coming back to that area. So 1122 on the chart is another area of overhead resistance to the upside. Moving on up from that, 21 cents, getting ourselves way up here. That would be a great sight to see. You can see that we wicked twice off this level in August and then back in November. So another area of overhead resistance, double topped out before heading lower. Keep that on your mind. Keep that on your charts. 21 cent, another area to keep an eye on. And that also goes back into here where we started to find support before fading lower. That is that 21 cent level. So that is what I see on CASPER right now. We have a 567, 799, 1122, and a 2125 on the chart. And you can see them. Those are all located right here. The 21, 1122, 799, and 567 areas. Keep those in mind. Keep those on your chart. Watch when the price gets in and around those areas. You'll look for some kind of a move. But keep in mind, as this thing gets more oversold, the counter move will be even stronger. We could see a move like this unfold at any moment, getting this price back up to where it's supposed to be, in my opinion. Great opportunity down in here. Do I think it will last? I do not. I think the price is getting to an area where a strong bounce could happen at any moment. And we started to see that unfold today. So maybe throughout the day, it'll try it again. But here is a warning to the bears that the bulls are perhaps waking back up. So keep that in mind. So, all right, guys, excuse me. Thank you once again. Channel just hit 500 subscribers. Appreciate all you guys checking out these videos, leaving comments. Let me know your thoughts, some ideas. Check out CASPER. Keep your eye on it. Let's see if we get that strong reaction move today, or do we head down to the 567 before moving higher? Things look bright for this chart. Keep your eye on Bitcoin. Definitely has a lot to say in what these markets do. All right, everybody. Gonna wrap it up here. Have a great weekend. I will catch you in the next video. Take care.